Okay, so we're doing a Team Yankee battle here at Rob's basement. We're doing a 2-on-2, doing 50 points of US and 50 points of US, but they look an awful lot like Canadians, which are Rob's Canadians, versus our 100 points of Russians. It's dust up, so that's why we've only got half the stuff on the board right now. Quickly go through what James and I have. We have these BRDMs. Are the same missile as the BMP-2, so the same anti-tank, so I'm using these as my recon. I've got a big fat platoon of motor rifles, so we've got, it's the one with the 9 BMP-1s. So that's what's on the board. We have 2 Su-25s in reserve, and 2 platoons of tanks also in reserve. And then Rob and Kevin, what do you guys have on the board? I mean, it looks self-explanatory, but go through it.
So we got a whole bunch of TOWs.
Yeah, so these are all TOW missile M113s.
Platoon of American infantry on the board right now.
Yeah. And that's their half tracks?
Yeah. Or their
Or,
M113s.
I'm so used to saying half tracks because they're not Germans.
A few Abrams.
Yeah.
And a few things that...
And that's his Centurion commander? Is that a Centurion?
Centurion pretending he's an M1 on the objective.
Yeah, so we have to burn that down. And then in reserve, you guys have...
These Centurions are M1s.
You guys have ones.
Canadian infantry platoon, which is same as American.
Yeah.
Air defense, and more M1s.
Cool. All right, so we'll catch you after turn 1. This should be blue. We did in rapid succession turns 1 and 2. It was a whole lot of nothing. The Soviets only dig in on 5s because I guess they don't like shoveling or manual labor of any sort. Yeah, exactly. Hammer and sickle. It's not the shovel and sickle. We moved the BTRs and the BRDMs up on the hill so we can get line of sight to the TOW missile M113s that drove into here. They failed to dig in
Again,
on two turns. Yeah. We had an M1 bogged down, but then he's fine now. So now it's turn 3, and we'll see if we get our reserves, which is on a 5+ still. You guys think? I want to see jets, because these guys are not dug in, and I want to use a devastating bombardment on them. Boo earns, so it'll be one more turn. Oh well, so we'll catch you then in turn 3. So we are now on turn 3. We did get reserves. James and I were going to use the jets to do the devastating bombardment template on these guys, but they dug in, and so the firepower is only 6+. So instead, we opted to put in the T-62s. Well, the T-72s, but whatever. So because it's dust up and there's M1s over here, we decided to come in from here. We get 36 inches from over there, drive the 10 inches to here, shoot into here, and it turns out these were two small platoons of 2. Our TOW missiles actually did pretty well, like when we lost 1 on the return fire. But James killed 2. The T-72s killed 1, but they made their good spirits check, so they're still there. And now it is their turn 3. Did you already roll for reserves? No, eh? No, not turn 3, turn 4. Yeah, so we're already on turn 4. Yes, and we are sitzkrieging, as Rob wanted us to point out. But we finally did dig in with these lads. So that is that, turn 4. So turn 5, we didn't... Oh no, that was the second half of your turn, sorry. So we had already killed these guys here. He made all of his cross-check rules to move. How far is it for you? 12 to move out of there?
14.
So they can take bog checks and still move 14, and shoot on the move with 2 shots, and with laser range fire. Laser rangefinder not have any negatives to hit, so we lost some T-72s here. This guy, the one TOW missile guy, did shoot, not at these guys because they have 8-inch minimum range, but he shot over here, missed, and did a shoot and scoot to move back 4 inches. These guys shot and bailed at 1. And so it's now turn 6, right? James, you're rolling 3 dice?
Yeah.
See what we get for reserves.
One
We
more.
get something. Alright, it's probably more tanks because our reserves come in here. We definitely want to get rear end shots from here, so that's what we'll do. So we'll see if that's... so we had an eventful turn 6. hooray. James's T-72s wiped out them. But you know what? If we had any less hits, we probably wouldn't have killed them all. Over here, we moved over here from the survivors from here moved up here. We knew that there's going to be reserves coming in over here. Our BRDMs moved here. The BMPs lined up in the forest. It's a forest full of missiles. And then on their turn, the one lone guy took a pot shot here. These guys took pot shots. So now these guys are down to just 2 live tanks. But because of the good spirits rule, we only have to start testing one and down to 1 tank that's live. So unlike Flames of War, I don't have to worry about it being below half. It's when I lose 1 more tank. And so we're going to decide what we're going to do. Well, we automatically get our jets in this turn, so we'll see what they're going to hit. All right, we'll catch you after turn 7. So turn 7, we what did we do, James? We shot, brought that platoon down to 1 bailed out tank. It was fine. We took some pot shots at the commander by the badge over there. The jets came in, killed 1, bailed 1, but he made his motivation and remounted. He got another platoon in, shot at these guys. Oh yeah, these guys turned and tried to kill this platoon. Missed. Made my armor saves against the shots from in there, and he rolled a 1 to penetrate the BRDM, so we still have a guy left there. So we don't need to worry about reserves anymore. It's just straight up the jets. So see if we get the jets. Roll. 4 plus. No. Turn like 8 or 9 or some such. Reserves came in. One of the M1s bogged down way back there. The other one came out. Took 2 side shots. Well, I mean BRDMs with an M1. It could be front armor, so it killed both. The platoon of 2 and the platoon of 1 decided to move up because we do have this M559. The objective is kind of undefended. We fired so much ordnance at this. This guy is still alive. We just knocked down all the trees, figuring that it's all tree stumps now, like in World War I. We took pot shots over here, James. I think we already covered this, but he killed the commander over there, and we killed that last guy over there with all these shots. So now it's our turn. We have jets, and we'll catch you after the end of this turn, which I think is... So bad news bears, turn 9 or 10 or whatever it is. We failed to do nothing. This guy is still alive somehow. These guys, Rob's thing of rushing up here is turning out well because he shot and killed the last 2 T-72s here. We are forced to press the issue here because he bailed out. Well, if we remount this guy, then drive 16, we might be able to contest it for 1 more turn.
How do you know
And we're going to do that right now. Remount 3 plus.
How do you know command is?
No, it fails.
That's the one thing I need to know.
Well, if more than half of your thing goes this way, they can't move, but they can sit there. But you probably want to all move them. I don't know. So it's bad news for us here.
6-inch bubble around your commander.
Who knows what we're going to do?
Well, I got a company commander and a platoon.
The jets are probably going to try and take out 1. We'll see what happens. Alright, so it's looking grim. Did drive the BRDMs out to contest to buy us 1 more turn, which they promptly then died. A bunch of these got shot and killed. My plan was to hop into the BMPs and drive up and contest, but most of them died, got shot at, and now they're pinned. Our jets came in, did absolutely nothing. Our tank platoon is stuck over here, and he's moving some guys over here, so I don't know how we're going to pull this out, but it's looking mighty grim, so this could be the last turn. Alright, so the game does end. I was running low on batteries because we're on a turn like 15 or something like that. So after crazy amounts of shots, these are finally dead from the Sukhoi 25s that are about over here. He marched in an M1, killed one of my tow missile guys, and in defensive fire, you can't shoot them in defensive fire because they're minimum range 8. But it turns out they have a high assault value if you can roll your assault dice. And I got 1 and killed off an M1. And the other guy that was out there failed his roll. In another turn, the T-72s drove up to here, killed the dragon, the infantry team that was shooting dragon missiles into the rear ends. They had killed a couple. We're not close enough to claim here, but the only other platoon they have is here. So we're just going to call it because we were actually on the verge of breaking too. These guys took so many shots, but just held on. Because we were at half, the platoon commander was dead. But James's T-72s just went through and killed a whole bunch of guys. So thanks for the game, you guys. What do you guys think?